One of the most well-known marriages in Marvel Comics, albeit not the longest lasting, is the marriage between Black Panther T'Challa and Storm, aka Ororo Munroe. Whether they are still together or not, you have probably heard of this couple, and today's story is the story of their wedding and how it came to be. This is the Comicstorian Complete story series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you as an audio drama. All text and images is removed to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. This is Black Panther: The Bride. The time has come. After aiding his friend Luke Cage in New Orleans, T'Challa's mother has declared that it is time for her son to choose a bride. But the only woman that T'Challa could ever think to become the Queen of Wakanda is the woman that he fell in love with long ago, Ororo Munroe, the mutant known as Storm. It is while bringing Luke back to his home in Harlem that T'Challa talks about his history with Ororo. How, after his father's death at the hand of Klaw, he went on a journey of self-discovery before taking up his role as king. He met Ororo when she was a street thief in Kenya, and the two fell in love. T'Challa later learned that she was the daughter of Kenyan royalty, but was orphaned when her parents were killed. They spent time together, but T'Challa saw Klaw and remembered that he must avenge his father's death. That he must take up the mantle of Black Panther and become the king that Wakanda needed, and he pushed Ororo away. I have responsibilities, and instead of fulfilling my commitments, I've been on vacation. Meanwhile, the man who killed my father still walks the earth. I need to get my mind focused on the task at hand, and to do that, I can't afford distractions, he told her. Hurt played in Aurora's eyes. And that's all I am? A distraction? She asked him. They had parted ways, with Aurora's mutant powers activating. She disappeared into the desert, becoming a goddess to the desert nomads as she brought rain to their families. Now, in Sudan, the goddess has returned. The slavers smile wickedly down at those that they have captured, but thunder rumbles overhead, and the women look up in hope. The slavers look up, shocked to see the warrior goddess descending from the heavens, lightning crackling in her eyes, and one raises a weapon, but lightning strikes quickly, and he is dead. Another runs for the jeep, but the wind and rain were biting at his face. "The sand is cutting me to shreds!" he shouts, but a noise comes through the storm. Schnicked. "If you think the sand is bad, how about this?" Wolverine growls. Afterwards, the storm has passed, with the women thanking Storm for everything that she's done, and Wolverine stalks towards her. "Why did you give him the quick way out?" she asks, motioning to the slaver that he put down. "Couldn't help it. I had to take one out for myself," he tells her. She looks at Logan, asking why he has been following her. "Doing this much good can lead to an equal and opposite reaction. I'm here to watch your back," he tells her, and she smiles at him. "I bet you are," she says. They both look up as T'Challa's aircraft flies overhead. The craft lands and Black Panther steps out, offering the women gathered bottles of water. He walks over to the pair, greeting them both, and a silence settles over the group, and Logan finally coughs. "Okay, got it. Why don't you guys have a moment?" he says and turns to walk away. T'Challa comments on Storm's work, on the good that she is doing in Africa. She reminds him that she used to do this all the time after he left her. "I never left you. I had an obligation to fulfill. I killed my father's murderer, and now I am king. Now, I am the man you deserve," he tells her. But she calls him a fool, telling him that she had needed him before, when she was little more than a child who had fallen in love for the first time. "I was a child too, and children make mistakes," he tells her. But he tells her it is not too late for them. He removes his mask and gets down on one knee. "Ororo Munroe, will you marry me?" T'Challa asks her. She stares at him for a moment. "Say it again," she asks, and he smiles and repeats his words. "I heard you for the first time. I just wanted to hear you say it again," she tells him. T'Challa cocks an eyebrow at her. So, am I supposed to wait here until my arms fall off? He asks her. But both heroes don't realize that someone is preparing an attack. Like Logan had said, Storm was doing too much good, and those in control of Sudan were fighting back. Target's locked, the jet pilots say over the radio. Storm suddenly looks up. Do you hear something? She asks. T'Challa nods as he stands. They're a couple of miles away, but approaching fast, he tells her as he pulls on his mask. Quick answer before this starts? He asks her. But she shakes her head. We need to talk, she tells him. Black Panther quickly heads towards his jet, while Storm takes to the skies. Overhead, the jets have arrived, but the storm quickly engulfs them, sending them crashing to the ground. Black Panther doesn't take off, and Storm quickly returns to him. But they both look up in shock as a flying carpet arrives. Oh, what now? T'Challa sighs. Die, infidels! Die by the sword of the Arabian Night! The villains call. But T'Challa shakes his head. That's not the Arabian Night, he whispers. Whoever he is, he's all yours, Your Highness, Storm says. Black Panther nods as he easily dodges the first attack of the Arabian Night. Hold on, this won't take long, he tells her. As he continues to dodge the Knight's attacks, T'Challa continues to talk to Storm, trying to convince her that they should be together. I've never stopped loving you, he finally says as he ducks another sword swing. He whirls, punching the Knight several times before kicking him in the stomach and dropping him. Ororo, a young man loses his head sometimes. I did what young men do, but now I am an adult, ready to give you the love that you deserve, he tells her, pulling her close. Storm sighs, turning and shocking the Arabian Night as he tries to stand. Later, T'Challa's aircraft has entered Wakandan airspace. Ororo looks down in surprise as they approach, as the citizens have gathered to cheer the return of their king. When the craft lands and the ramp opens, the people cheer even louder for the appearance of their king hand in hand with the woman who will become their queen. Inside the palace, T'Challa and Ororo are greeted by Ramonda. Son, it is good to see you, she calls as she walks forward. Mother, this is my dear friend, Princess Ororo Munroe of Kenya, T'Challa says, introducing his bride. Ramonda steps forward, smiling as she greets Storm. Finally! I've been hearing about you for 10 years. Let's take a walk, she says, leading her away. On the palace grounds, Ramonda tells Storm that she is exactly the type of woman that she wants for her son. A strong woman, a warrior who will help her son lead the nation of Wakanda. There's only one question. Do you love my son enough to change your life to be with him forever? She asks. Later, as the sun sets on Wakanda, Storm finds the Black Panther in a tree, looking out over his kingdom. How was Mother? He asks her as she lands. Amazing, like I imagined she'd be, she tells him. So, you never answered my question, T'Challa reminds her as they pull each other close. Will you marry me? He repeats. Ororo stares at him for a moment before pulling into his arms. Yes, she says. It is the wedding of the century. Important figureheads and celebrities have been gathered in Wakanda. Mutants and Avengers. Both sides of the political spectrum of the Superhero Registration Act have been invited. Though T'Challa failed to bring Iron Man and Captain America into a momentary peace for the day. Though others of their group have agreed to act civil towards one another for the celebration. Now, the moment has finally arrived. King T'Challa appears before those who have gathered, but Storm is the one who makes an entrance, descending from the skies like the goddess that she is. Both Nightcrawler and Wolverine both look on in wonder, saddened by the one they let get away. T'Challa takes Ororo's hand as they stand before his mother, the only woman who could perform the ceremony of their wedding. Ororo has been warned about the ritual, how she will have to go before the Panther God, who must decide that she is worthy. Ramonda begins, telling them that they must go before the Panther God to prove their love. Both T'Challa and Storm slip into the spirit realm. Storm is shocked by what she sees, but T'Challa warns her, "Don't get distracted. Even though we don't see him, the Panther God is tracking us," he tells her. In no time, the pair are standing before the Great Panther. "Remember, no fear," he tells her. The Panther leans forward. "T'Challa, who is this you bring before me?" the god questions. "My bride," T'Challa answers, and the Panther steps forward. "Step aside. I will judge what she really is," the god says to T'Challa. The Panther roars, but Ororo stands her ground. The Panther sniffs her, tastes her skin, and finally, it sits back on its haunches. "I have made my judgment. Welcome, Ororo Munroe," the Panther god says. At the wedding, both heroes come back to their bodies, and Ramonda congratulates them, holding their hands for the crowd to see. "The Panther God has blessed this couple. Pity anyone who would stand in the path of their happiness. Now let us celebrate their love," she says, bringing cheers of happiness from all those who gathered. And so the party begins, with heroes and villains alike putting aside their differences to celebrate the union of the pair, the king and queen of Wakanda. And that is the wedding of Black Panther and Storm, T'Challa and Ororo. I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and if you did, please be sure to give the video a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel, clicking that bell icon, of course, to make sure that you get notifications when new videos go live. And if you want to support us even further, you can join our YouTube memberships or go to our Patreon, patreon.com/comicstorian. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching today, and I will see you next time right here at Comicstorian.